So remember the time when you were 8 years old and your parents did all the decision making part for you. Why? Because you were too young and they made all your choices, whether it was for which school you went to, what you ate for dinner, what you wore at birthday parties, or where you went for vacation. But most importantly, they chose which activity camp you spent your summer in. Today, I want to talk about what is last on that list. So, my mom, she used to sign me up in these bunch of activity camps every summer, no matter what it was: swimming, table tennis, cricket, art, or skating, whatever it was. I hated every single one of them because, irrespective of what it was, it meant leisure time playing video games. And one of these mornings, my mom, she just burst into my room and she was looking really excited. So I knew that I was doomed. So it was 8 a.m. on this summer morning when I was 8 years old. To be fair, she always woke me up at 8 a.m. But it was summer. So I thought I'd be sleeping late. But she just burst in and she told me that there was this very new and different kind of summer camp that I should go and attend. And I knew that I was going to have to attend it because, let's be honest, we can't make a choice when we're 8, can we? So, as a matter of fact, I did go there. And I was the youngest one present there. It was just a small residential camp where fourth to sixth graders would show up and for 5 days in this hostel and do some small activities, perform talent shows, and whatnot. But the most exciting part of all this was on the last day when we went for a hike. Despite the fact that we only walked on a rough trail because children can't climb, can they? But here is the main headline. I actually enjoyed it there. I'll come back to that. Coincidentally, they introduced Scouts and Guides as a regular school activity in my new school day next year. They made it mandatory for everyone till sixth grade. Needless to say, I found an interest in the activity. So I joined. And then I was a part of it year after year after year. Well, how did it turn out? Let's just say like this. This is me in seventh grade after the National Scout Pachmadi camp in 2018, where I fell from an obstacle and broke both my wrists. And now I know you're seeing a boy with broken arms. But let me tell you, this, my friends, is a boy with a broken ego. And believe me when I say this, a lot of great things happen when your ego breaks. Scouts did that for me. They broke my ego in quite a little sense. Scouts, at its atomic level, is a community that teaches you how to trust a people in this unpredictable world where the reality is we are all interdependent on one another and we cannot exist alone. Ego is the Greek word which roughly translates to I. Scouts broke that pattern of I thinking in me and got me to start we thinking. By thinking in the terms of we, in terms of the community, I realized that there was so much out there for me to explore. And that is all it takes for me. And that is all it takes. You just need to look up from your phone screen and take a look outside your house. You'll be surprised from all that you find there. And I did this all the time, from daily hikes to week long camping trips. I learned to be a part of this community. And that's the first step, realizing that there's a world outside your room and you need to learn to be a part of it. And you need to learn to respect the others who are a part of it and help each other live better. And that's why you saw me smiling with those fractured wrists. There was pain, yes, but there was also community caring for me, supporting me, encouraging me, and helping me in all ways possible. All the people at the camp, they cared for me so much. They would help me get food, take medicines, and they would even make me feel better. Like I was someone they had known for years. The we thinking at that moment was way too much stronger than the I thinking. And it made me forget all the pain that I was feeling. And it replaced it with the care that we had for each other. But there is still another reason you saw me smiling there. The reason is Scouts taught me to be prepared. That is our motto. Be prepared for anything. Scouts taught us that the world is an uncertain place, and more than often, we will find ourselves in situations that will baffle us and make us panic. It might be a test question we didn't study for, or it might be an unfortunate road accident. It could be anything, and the only way to get through it is to be prepared for anything at any time, which is why we are taught first aid and emergency care. We learn how to tend to deep wounds, and we get training to rescue people from fire and to treat burns. We get trained to treat snake and scorpion bites and to protect ourselves against bees. We can pitch our tents anywhere. We can cook for a crowd of almost 100 people with ease. We can make useful items such as cloth hangers, stretchers, utensil stands from nothing but the debris lying around, along with wood and bamboo, and tied all with our scarves or belts. We learn to be calm no matter what happens, which is a very difficult skill to teach to a 15-year-old. So I salute my mentors for that. But we are taught to trust our intuition. We are taught to be prepared for anything. We are taught to be prepared for anything at any time. We learn to accept that everything happens for a reason. And we have to learn to accept ourselves and not to blame the circumstances. These are my greatest learning from Scouts. Learning to accept yourself truly for who you are and to see the world around you as your community. And when you do that, you cannot imagine what happens. Well, you can't imagine, but you can see. How large do you think this community can become? A group of teenagers, a school, a city, or a country? Well, let me show you. This is the International Boy Scout Jamboree held in every 4 years. I was lucky enough to be a part of the 24th World Scout Jamboree held in West Virginia, USA. More than 50,000 people from over 152 countries of the globe participated in this gathering. I remember that I used to meet people from all countries and I used to exchange scarves and badges and so much from them. We would tell each other stories from our lives, from our nations, and we would help each other like the best of friends. This was one incident that happened to us. Once we ran out of rations for the day and we could not make dinner. So a scout from Malta named Michael gave us the last of their rations of bread from the day. In return, well, we taught Michael, one of the scouts, a bunch of Bollywood phrases and songs. Trust me, he took a very special liking into the Bollywood song Aati Kya Khandala. Yes, we would just yell from our base camp, Sun, and he would reply from his, Suna, from wherever he was. This was one of my favorite moments there. And one of those nights, I hung out with a bunch of scouts from many countries. and we jammed all night with guitars and drums. There, I have learned fly fishing. I have learned how to fire a Remington shotgun, a 9 millimeter pistol, or a hunting rifle. There, I have went through one of the largest zip lines present in USA. I have learned to make friends with everyone there, and I have learned so much. I have done kayaking and I have done many other water sports. But the most important, I have learned that there are many people out there who are just as good as me. It was, no matter how hard I try, I cannot do justice to describe the experience. And I will suffice to say that waking up at that morning at 8 a.m. when I was 8 years old was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And I might have not known it then, but I sure do now. And I guess that is the most important learning from Scouts. It is that nothing is always pretty or easy or convenient. There are times that you don't want to do the things that you're asked to do. But here I am standing today, a testimony to all the beautiful things that can happen to you when you learn to do the things that you don't want to do. To find what you love, you have to go through a lot of things that you don't like. So, like a scout, always be prepared. Thank you.